since the last time, what I hadn't realised, I think I told you in the last video, my light that I've got fixed up here to shine on the table so I can see while I'm working is only magnetised, and for some reason the magnet on the back of the light was just taped. That tape failed and the light dropped onto the desk here where I work. I'd packed up for the evening and left the next section of bits and bobs and screws ready to go on the table, and what happened was the light dropped, obviously scattered some of the nuts and bolts, which I found and I've put them back ready to use. But what I didn't realise, and I'd forgotten, I put one of the small springs that goes in the gearbox, the one that goes in that section there. And this was, I think, was it Thursday of last week this happened, and it's Tuesday today. So what I had to do is reorder a spare spring or a replacement one, and I've just been sitting waiting because yeah, I could have moved up a step and done a couple of things, but I think it's my OCD kicked in that I have to follow it section by section. So I've just been sat waiting for the spring to arrive, so I can continue where I left off. And it's been a bit frustrating because it's took probably an extra day longer than I expected for the spring to arrive, but however, it's here today. And I think there was about 4 or 5 in a bag that you buy together. Looks like 4, so I've got a couple of spares which will always come in. I can drop them in my drawer, but at least I can now move on. But I've got to get myself organised. I can put that out of the way. I can go down there and let's have a look what I need to do. So I need to just pop the frame out of the way for a moment, start making some room, open up the page to where I was. It's a couple of pages ahead of myself. I also had arrived in the post just before, I think I did my last vlog, but I didn't mention it, is the speed controller. Now this is the speed controller that I was advised to get. I think it's the right one, I hope it is. So I purchased the speed controller, and I did mention about I brought an upgraded motor, and I brought that one, which was suggested to me to purchase. You get a much better, apparently much better slower speed, and it's the, is it the Carson 540, it's a 80T-CB. If you're interested, that's what it is, if you want to freeze the frame. So that's the motor I'm going to be using, and not the one that was supplied. So I thought I'd just bring you up to date with that. And now let's see where I am. Yeah, and since the screws all got scattered and that, I've put them back into the pots and that, and I put the ones that was a few that was loose there, because what I do, I'll go to a section, see what the parts are at the side, and then put them ready to use. Now there might be a couple of other ones missing that I don't know until I go to use them, so we shall see. So where did I get to? Here, and I need one of these springs. So if I take that off there, I can go over there on this bag, and I'll just take one out, and then I'll store the other spare ones. You never know when I might need another one sometime. It might be for another model. There's the spring there. Obviously when that light dropped, it's sprung all over the place. I've searched everywhere for it. and I couldn't find it. Right, I just want to put this with my Tamiya spares. There we go, that goes in there. So I can take this plate off. I just put it on just to hold everything in place, because I was almost ready to screw it all together, and this is the last spring to go on that's going to go there. Now I can pop this back on. I think what I did in the video as well, because I was just putting this together, like I say, just to hold everything together, I put this push rod in the where the screw hole goes, and you might have seen that in the other video, and you might have been shouting at me through the screen saying it doesn't go there, but I literally just put that plate on so it held everything in place. So that's everything in place. What I do need is the other supporting rod, which is there, which I can now add. I need my thread lock, and I've just got to get these screws that I need, BC1s. Right, it's easy to pick them up with a, that looks like that size, and I need 5 of those. Three, 4, 5. Actually, I will need, do I need 6, because I've got one bar that's missing. Which one's missing? That's it, the bottom one there. So I need 6, because I've got to do the other side as well, because I didn't put that side on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put this one on to start. I know what I haven't got is my screwdriver. Is it that one? I think it's that one. Just check, see if it fits. Yeah, that's the one. So, take one of these. We just need a little bit of thread lock on. There we go. That's going to go in there. Just put this on. I have greased up all the shafts and all the gears as well. So they're done. I've just got to put a bit of grease on that spring that I've put in. Let me just tighten this up a little bit. Most of these I keep tying up on this side. might be just that one I've just put in. Yep, that'll be this one, I think. There we go. That's it. All tightened up. Just get a bit of grease on my fingers. I need to just drop a bit of grease. I'll just put that screw back because I don't need it yet. Just a little dab of grease on that spring. There. Just push it in so it gets there onto the shaft. That's it. Just push that. All seems to be working and going across, I think. Okay, so now that's all attached, I need the next parts. So I'll look at the part list. Well, I've got this little bag, no particular order. I'll need 2 of the E-clips. I'll call them circlips, but just need to check the picture before I put this, one of these circlips that goes on there, and I think it goes on now before that lever goes on, so it's at the front. Let's see if I can get this in place. These small ones are really fiddly. Usually get it to balance on the top and then just apply a little pressure until it clips. Just make sure I'm in the centre. Has that gone on? I don't think it has. No, not quite. You just got to make sure it's straight up so it goes into the groove. Don't want to give it too much pressure. If I can do it with these pliers, I'll have a bit more control over it. Oh, it just popped on. That's it. It just popped on as soon as I did it with those. Right. Next thing is the shift arm and the, what do they call it? The shift ball. Now it doesn't say put any thread lock on that, but I'm just going to put a little bit on. Just a little bit, and that should go into there like that. Then that goes on there and that goes in there. Right, and I guess when I put the arm onto there, I need to adjust it. But so it stays on there, I'm just going to lightly tighten it up. I don't know if that's the right size. I don't know if I can get in there. Right, might be able to do it by hand so it doesn't fall off. And then when it's in the right position, I can then tighten it up. And I can see that's pushing the gears. So when it's attached, can you see that? When the push rod's clipped on there and the servo moves, it's going to push that along and that way like that. I think that's how it's going to work. Right, let me do this side where the joint cut goes on, and this is going to be BB5, which is the bigger one of the grub screws. Then I need J4, which I believe is going to be that bit there. I left that over there because I knew that was on there. I've seen online where a lot of people tend to throw these away and miss parts. So I guess that's what that was, and it's number 4, so that's what I need. And then I can throw this spray away and pop that out of the way now. That goes on first, then let me just turn that around because there's a flat part where the grub screw's got to go on, which goes like that, I think. Let me just turn that slightly, like that. Okay, like that. There we go. Now just tighten that nice and tight. There we go. That's on nice and tight. If I can pick it up, they're so small. I don't know if you can buy a special tool to fit these, I don't know. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. It's the what they call E-clips. I call them circlips. Probably getting them mixed up, I suppose. Oh, come on. Getting grease on my fingers as well. Don't help. Right, let me get the big pliers. There's more of area. It might just start it if it doesn't get it on. Ah, there you go. That's it. It's on. Done. Get this grease off my fingers. So that's where we are. I've just put that on. The circlip there and the lever arm there. And that's going to be pushing and pulling there. And also there's a circlip there as well. So that's all done. I've now got to put the motor into place. I will also need this motor plate. Okay, so that's at the bottom. We just want to lift it on the bottom slightly so it doesn't wear the gear, I'm guessing. So it's not rubbing on the bottom of that sprocket. It's actually just catching the teeth and not the bottom. So if I turn that, see that one? I think that might be too tight. I thought I'd lifted it, but maybe not. So just crack it a little bit. Lift up. Tighten. tighten this one. I might have to adjust it when it's powered up, I guess. I've got grease everywhere now. What I need to do is also put some grease on there now. There we go. What I need now is the gear casing itself, which is B2 and B1. Bring the chassis over. I'm guessing it's going to go this end because it's going to be the opposite end to the diff, and that's going to go like that. Just get these cables out of the way. Then this is going to fit into here. I've just got to work out which holes they screw into. Got 1, 2. So it's the next hole after that. So that's like that. Again, it doesn't say anything about thread lock on these, but this whole section here is going to vibrate, isn't it? Let me know what you think. Would you put thread lock on there? Because we're going to be putting screws in there into the frame, and all this with the motor there, that's going to be a lot of vibration. So I'm just gonna do it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But here we go. Let's get the first one in, shall we? What I'm going to do is do the ones closest to the motor first. Just a So folks, that's the gearbox in place, all built up, the motor's in place, the linkage and the push rod from the servo to the gearbox is in place. Yes, that might need some adjustments, but should be okay. I think that can be changed once it's all connected up. So that's the gearbox done, and I think I'm going to leave it there until the next one. Thanks for dropping by and seeing how I'm getting on. It is slow progress, but I'm in no rush to get it done, so I'll just do it at a leisurely speed, and you know, there's no rush, is there? So until next time, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, subscribe, give us a thumbs up and comment below and tell me if you've done one of these or what you think I should do, or if I've done something wrong, let me know. But please subscribe, it helps the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.